Today I'm gonna review Zak George's most viewed video on YouTube.
So you've gotten a new puppy, now what? Today I'm gonna go over some things you need to know, plus 2 things you can start teaching instantly.
I'm Dr. Orion, a veterinarian and a veterinary behavior residency graduate. Now, before I dive into the review, I promise that once I hit the 1,000 subscribers mark, I will do some kind of a giveaway. And I did. Hit the 1,000 subscribers mark. I didn't give anything yet, but I'm gonna. Wouldn't you like a shirt like this one or a different kind of shirt? Well, I'm gonna give you one. But to learn how to get it, stick around.
Now let's go talk to Brittany and find out what's going on with Bruno.
Wait, did he say Bruno? We don't talk about Bruno. No, no, no.
We don't talk about Bruno, no.
So how's he been adjusting in his first few days at home with you so far?
I think that he's been adjusting really well. In the beginning, he would kind of stay with us at all the time. He'd only stay in the front room, but as the days go on, he just sort of runs around the house and is getting more active with the cats, and he's being bolder and more curious, so we think he's doing very well.
Yeah, the dog started by being more scared, being around the owners all the time, basically showing some signs of maybe even separation anxiety, which is very common after you take a dog from the rest of the litter. But the more the dog learns about the environment, he gets bolder and gets more curious about the surroundings. This is also true about adult dogs, not just puppies. But you should know that sometimes it might take even a few months before you know what your dog's normal behavior is. Many times you'll have some kind of a honeymoon period of even a few months before you see if your dog is a well-behaved dog or a dog that needs some work.
I'm really excited to work with Bruno, and he seems like he's ready to get going too. Would you mind if I worked with him for a little bit?
Of course, sure.
Letting the puppy bite your hands as a play is actually not a very good idea. But I guess that because right now he's not dealing with all of the dog's behaviors, he's not addressing it. Also, he's asking the owners if he can work with the dog. Now, for the sake of the video, I completely understand that. He's trying to show how his techniques work. But in real life, you want to teach the owners how to work with the dog, right? Because in the end, it's gonna be them and the dog, not the trainer and the dog.
When you first bring your new puppy or dog home, don't throw too much on them at one time. In other words, many dogs need some time to adjust.
Yeah, so as I said, they need some time to adjust to the environment and their behavior will change according. And they also don't need to have so many things thrown at them and so many techniques or so many things that you're trying to teach them all at the same time.
It's going to take months for your dog to take in this world, learn our language, and understand how we expect them to behave. Keep that at the front of your mind during that first year of training. If you have a young puppy like Bruno, they're still rapidly developing too. Watch out for those teeth. This puppy biting catches a lot of people off guard.
Did he just listen to what I said? It can be. This video is pretty old. But yes, it takes time, like I said, like he said. It might actually take even longer than a year. But I do like the fact that he's saying that it's a process. There are no quick fixes. If you see any trainers that are showing you how to use a prong collar or showing you how to use all kinds of weird types of punishment and showing you how to make your dog all of a sudden, like in one session, not pull you anymore, they're probably lying.
One of the first things you'll want to do is teach your new dog their name so that they can begin to understand that it's their attention we want when we call them by their name.
Yeah, it is really important that your little land shark will know his name. But I will mention that a big mistake that some people do is to associate the name with something bad sometimes, by accident. For example, like yelling, "Benji, no! Benji, you're a bad dog!" And now the dog learns that his name actually means something bad.
Bruno, come here! See, it's not working yet. So the first thing you want to do is just get your dog's attention on you, maybe by making a little bit of a sound like, hey. Yes, good job. Right there, I'm going to reward Bruno simply because he acknowledged me.
Yeah, that's good to break down everything into little steps and not doing everything at the same time.
This time I'm going to introduce his name. Bruno. Yes, good job. Bruno.
Yeah, so he started with a very simple making noise and giving a treat. And now that the dog knows that the owner making noises, or the trainer in this case, making noises means treat, he's going to try to link the name with the treat, with the positive experience.
Really take advantage of this, catch them off guard as often as you can, and reward them heavily when they stop what they're doing to pay attention to you or respond to their name.
Yes, that actually shows you that the dog responds to the name and not just randomly coming to you to get a treat.
If you've gotten a new puppy, you're probably going to want to teach them how to sit pretty early on. Many dogs will do this pretty instinctively, but the idea is that you can teach them how to sit specifically when you ask them to do so.
You might ask, why is it so important to make the dog sit? Well, it's not important as a type of obedience, but many times you might need to use it for other things in the future. For example, you might want to use sit when you have guests coming over and you don't want the dog to be jumping on them. If the dog is sitting, the dog can't jump. Now, for the dog, it's not a bad thing because every time the dog sits, he gets a treat, or at least he associates it with something good.
Sit is so important because you're going to ask them to do this time and time again.
It might not be just the example that I gave. It can be in many, many different situations.
It's easiest to teach your dog sit by luring them into position.
There are different ways you can train. You can lure an animal to do something, which is what he's trying to do. You can shape a behavior, and you can even prompt a behavior. An example of prompting would be to push on the dog's butt a little bit while you're giving the sit command and the treat. You definitely don't want to try with that one. It's better to lure him or to shape him into doing something that you like. And again, you don't need to do it in one sitting. You don't have to do it in a very quick way that goes from 0 to 100. You actually want to do it in very small baby steps.
Most people tend to go too fast like this, but really what you want to do is go super, super slow.
Baby steps.
Look at that. See that? Sit. This time, I'm going to introduce the word sit to him as he sits. Yes, sit.
You can see that right now he's giving the cue sit after the dog is sitting down, or at least after the dog started sitting down, not before. Because right now he's just trying to create an association. But the best way is to say the sit only when the dog is starting to sit down, because you want the cue to come before the action.
Most dogs are going to pick up on this really fast, so you should be able to start phasing out the lure pretty quickly on something like sit anyway. So watch this. Sit. Good job. See, he anticipated because we practiced several times in a row.
Yeah, dogs are very smart. They pick up really fast usually. So you see that the dog is already offering this behavior without any connection to the cue, to the command to sit. Just because the dog already learned that, oh, sitting down means I'm gonna get a treat. But the next step is to associate between the cue, between saying sit and actually sitting down before you give the treat.
Bruno! Yes, good. Gave me his attention when I called his name. Sit. Hey,
Good job.
Was really good. Let's go for some bonus content now and see if we can teach Bruno how to lie down.
Now, did you notice how the dog is not jumping at him and not biting him as much as he did before? Many times you don't even need to work on the puppy biting. The reason is that the dog is now so into the training session. He's like almost obsessed with the training session that he likes it so much. He's getting that enrichment just from the training. To him, that's playing. And another example of why teaching your dog to sit is you can ask him to sit nicely before he jumps on you. So you're actually redirecting him into doing something that is appropriate.
Sit. Good. Again, we're gonna do the same exact thing, and we're gonna go nice and slow, just like this. Yes, I'm gonna reward there simply because he moved his front foot forward. I'm not gonna insist that he does a complete lie down immediately.
Okay, so this is shaping. This is not luring. He's shaping the behavior step by step into what he actually wants the dog to do. It might not happen very fast, but it's a great way, especially for things that are a bit more complicated than sit.
I'm rewarding for progress. That's the
look at
most
the key.
important thing. Don't be so greedy when you're introducing new behaviors.
Yeah, so don't be too greedy, because if you do it too fast, then you're gonna get frustrated. the dog is gonna get confused and get frustrated, and the cat is gonna stay a cat.
Yes. Excellent job.
Yeah, that was really impressive.
Now, with some dogs, this might take a few days. Other dogs, it might take a few minutes. It really just depends on a variety of factors.
Oh yes, there's so many factors. But check out the link in the description below to see the entire video. So overall, this is the way to go. And now, as promised, how can you get this amazing t-shirt? Or I actually have a few other t-shirts. I'll put a link below to my store. You can pick one after you win. For me to give away this shirt, I want two things to happen. I really want this to be something that everyone can benefit from, or at least one of you will benefit from it. So I want at least 1,000 views. Second thing, I want you to comment down below. Once the video reaches those 1,000 views, I'm gonna use a website that randomly picks from those comments, and that one will be the winner. I'll announce it as a short video. I will leave a pinned comment that has the link to the short video with the name of the winner. Exciting! And if you like this video, why not try this video?